Hello everybody, my name is Elena. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. So for today's video, we're going to be unboxing my January book of the month. It came like 3 or 4 days ago, but I haven't got a chance to sit down and do the unboxing. So we're doing it today. So if you're interested in seeing what my selection was and what my add-ons are, then definitely keep on watching. Alright, so I'm super excited. I always get really happy and excited when I get new books. I actually today went to Barnes & Noble and picked up 2 books that I have to read for a book club that I'm participating in. So there's this booktuber called Books with Lala, and I absolutely love her channel. So she's doing like mystery and thrillers, like book clubs where you read different mysteries / thrillers throughout the whole year. So I have February and March's book in here, which I will show you guys at the end of this video because you're here for book of the month. So in case you don't care about that, we're gonna do what the video is for first. Just real quick, book of the month is a subscription service. You get to choose a book every month from 5 selections. Every selection is a different genre. I always pick the thriller, mystery, horror because that's what I enjoy to read. I do want to start branching out, so from now on I'm going to be picking at least one add-on from a different genre so that I can try to branch out and read different genres, but my selection will always be the thriller one unless I've read it, which is not likely because book of the month always chooses new books or books that haven't come out yet. So anyway, I have 3 books in here because I usually always choose my 2 add-ons. So it's $14.99 a month, and then add-ons are $9.99 each, and you get to pick 2 add-ons. So that's what I did. Okay, so this was my pick out of the 5. So this is Jane Harper's The Survivors. Now this book came out in the UK a couple years ago, which is why a lot of people are wondering, like, is this a new release or is it an old release, etc., etc. But it's a new release in the US. This was released in the UK, so you can find a ton of reviews of it on YouTube. Okay, so now in the app that where I'm supposed to be on the screen, I'm going to put what I am reading so that you can see exactly what I'm seeing. Let me know down below also if you like it that I do it this way. I'm trying something new to make the video more enjoyable to watch and more informative because I don't know exactly how I should be doing these type of videos. So definitely make sure that you comment down below things that you would like to see if I miss, or leave out things that you would have liked to know or see. So anyway, this is The Survivors by Jane Harper. It's a mystery. It's considered a mystery. So the quick take: Home Sweet Home? Well, not exactly. This eerie seaside town is burdened by secrets, storms, and an unsolved murder. And the good to know is that it's a slow build, which means the story probably drags a little bit in the beginning. It's a puzzle type of book. It's creepy and it's unsettling, so that's definitely right up my alley. I enjoy books that keep me guessing and unsettle me. I can't remember what the release date of this book is. I'll put it on the screen if I can find it somewhere, but I do want to read it before the actual release so that I can do a review video on it. I do want to start doing review videos on books that I've read. So now we're going to move on to my add-ons. My first add-on is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. So now I mainly chose this book because I am Mexican, and obviously Mexican Gothic, it just calls to me. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I just love the character on the front with the beautiful dress. Like, she just looks gorgeous. I love it so much. And then the green background, I love it. And the book looks actually short, so I feel like I could read this in one sitting. So I'm actually very excited for this one as well. This one is considered a horror novel. It's only 301 pages, so yeah, that's not bad at all. All right, let's go ahead and read everything about this. So, the quick take: a new take on Gothic suspense that displays the horrors of colonism against a dreamy, nightmarish read nightmarish backdrop. So the good to know is that it's a feminist, it's movie-ish, supernatural, and creepy. So I'm guessing movie-ish, it probably reads like a movie. You probably feel like you're watching a movie when you're reading this. I did read a lot of reviews on Goodreads and stuff, which my Goodreads is linked down below if you want to friend me or follow me on Goodreads. Because I do all of my reviews and stuff on there, and I do update my reading with my comments and how I'm feeling during those pages that I've just read. So I read a lot of reviews on this book that it wasn't actually scary, so I'm hoping that that's not true, because since it's considered a horror novel, I'm hoping that it is kind of scary or unsettling. At least it takes a lot to scare me, but I'm hoping that it at least makes me feel uneasy. That's what I'm wanting to go for. So that synopsis was like super long, which is why I don't really like reading the synopsises. I rather just read like the quick take, like that it said a new take on Gothic suspense, etc., etc. I feel like that's, sometimes they're super vague and they don't really give you enough, but sometimes the synopsises, like I just read, are ridiculously long and then they kind of lose you. To me, that synopsis didn't sound so interesting. If this had nothing to do with Mexico and it being Mexican Gothic, I probably would have never chose it, even though it's a horror book, because it doesn't sound that interesting to me. So I'm really hoping that I end up liking this book. That's another reason why I try to stray away from reviews, because the reviews weren't that great. There's a lot of conflicting reviews, but the bad reviews are really bad, so that's why it's like, now I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this book, or it probably already messed up my mind against this book, so I'm probably not going to enjoy it now that I know that it wasn't that enjoyable for most people and that it wasn't scary. But I'm going to try to go into this book expecting the most out of it, so that, you know, I cannot be let down so bad. But anyway, I'm really excited to read this one nonetheless. I've had it on my TBR for a really long time. Alright, so last but not least, we have The Push by Ashley Adrian. This book is actually sold out on Book of the Month, which means a lot of people are really excited to read this one since it's actually sold out, which I actually can't believe. And it looks really short as well, so I'm assuming it's about 300 pages like Mexican Gothic. Without the acknowledgements, it's 303, so that's really nice. I'm really excited to read this one too. It definitely, since it's short, it could be a fast read. Let's just read the quick take. So, a nightmarish look at what happens when a mother's little bundle of joy becomes her greatest source of fear. So I actually never read the quick take or anything when I chose this book. I just saw that it was a new add-on for the month and the cover really intrigued me, so I just added it on. So that sounds really interesting. So the good to know is that there's family drama, mama drama, it's creepy, and it's unsettling. So right there it has my attention. Unsettling and creepy is right up my alley. I'm really looking forward to this one. I need to hurry up and finish the current books that I'm reading so I can start this one, because I'm definitely going to be picking up this one over the other two that I just showed you. The Survivors sounds really interesting and I do want to start reading that one, but this one's definitely pushed to the top of the list just because of that little synopsis there that really grabbed me. Another really cool thing I forgot to mention, but I know I've mentioned it in other videos, is that you can actually read a preview of each book before you choose it. So on the app you can actually read a little bit from the book, which I really appreciate, like I've said in other videos, because you can kind of get a sense of their writing style and the pacing and see if you even like it before you actually choose the book. Because although some of these synopsises and the covers are nice and they intrigue you, if you don't like the writing style, it'll be hard to get through a book. So I do appreciate that. So now that is all of the books, but real quick before we go, we have two more things in the box. So as always, you get a bookmark every month. It says Book of the Month on it, and then on the other side it says something cool. This one says I'll wait here, and then it's a little smiley face. I love these bookmarks. All right, so here is a little card that just says, imagine these books are taking a bow. So these are the 2020 Book of the Year finalists. We have Anxious People by Frederick Backman. I haven't read that one, but it was a Book of the Month a while ago, but I never chose it because I like thrillers. But I do want to read that one. I heard that it was really good. The next one is The Girl with the Louding Voice by A.B. Dare. I haven't read that one either. The next one is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I actually have that book, but I haven't read it yet. The next one is by V.E. Schwab, and it's The Invisible Life of Addie something. It's really hard to see because it's a black book. And last but not least, we have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, and on the other side it's there as well because it is the 2020 book of the year. So The Vanishing Half is both melancholy and introspective, a book for the times. I actually have this book in my cart for February. I'm going to be choosing it as an add-on because I think it's a contemporary fiction or something like that, and I don't remember if I've ever read a book like that, so I'm choosing that one, especially because I want to read the book of the year and see how it got chosen as the book of the year. But anyway, that was everything for my book of the month of January. If you get book of the month, what did you choose? What were your add-ons if you got any? And then that's pretty much it. So I wanted to really quickly show you some things that I got from Barnes & Noble today. You can totally skip this if you don't care. So like I said, I am joining a book club by Books with Lala. I believe that is correct. I think so. She's a booktuber here on YouTube, so I'm joining her book club, and the first book is for February, and that is When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This book sounds super interesting and I can't wait to read it. When I went to Barnes & Noble, it was kind of hard to find it because it was actually placed in the romance section, which you would be like, why? Because this is considered like a mystery thriller book, I think. But it was in the romance section, so it was a little hard to find. So real quickly, I'm going to read you the description just so you can kind of get a sense of what the book is about because I suck at explaining things off the fly. So the gentrification of a Brooklyn neighborhood takes on a sinister new meaning. Sydney Green is Brooklyn born and raised, but her beloved neighborhood seems to change every time she blinks. Condos are sprouting like weeds, for sale signs are popping up overnight, and the neighbors she's known all her life are disappearing. To hold on to her community's past and present, Sydney channels her frustration into a walking tour and finds an unlikely and unwanted assistant in one of the new arrivals to the block, her neighbor Theo. But Sydney and Theo's deep dive into history quickly become a dizzying descent into paranoia and fear. Their neighbors may not have moved to the suburbs after all, and the push to revitalize the community may be more deadly than advertised. When does coincidence become conspiracy? Where do people go when gentrification pushes them out? Can Sydney and Theo trust each other or themselves long enough to find out before they too disappear? So this sounds really interesting, and I'm really glad that it's a selection for the book club because this is actually a book that I've been wanting to read. It's actually been in my Amazon cart for a really long time, so Books with Lala definitely made me just go ahead and buy it since I wanted to participate in this book club because it gives me an opportunity to actually make sure that I definitely read something, because my Goodreads reading goal for the year is 21 books, which I think is possible since I'm reading a lot more than last year. I'm definitely going to up that goal as we go on because I'm trying to read as many books as I can possibly squeeze in this year. But yes, this book is super interesting. But the next book is crazy, and I'm so intrigued. I think I'm going to be starting it today or tomorrow, even though it's the March selection, and it was the last one at Barnes & Noble, and I found it like right away by myself, which I applaud myself for. But it was the last one, and I almost lost my shit because I was like, oh my gosh, it's the last one. Like, what are the odds of that? But here's the book. It looks like a textbook. If you are in college or you've been to college, then yeah, it definitely looks like a textbook, which is really nice. I actually like this shape. It's really heavy. My arm started hurting while I was in the store and I was carrying it looking for When No One Is Watching because I couldn't find that damn book anywhere. I didn't know it was in the romance section. But anyway, this is House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. So this book is a story within a story within a story. If you've seen the movie You Should Have Left, I think it's called. The movie is about a house that's bigger on the inside than it is the outside. If you've seen that movie, I do strongly believe that that movie was inspired by this book, because this book has kind of something to do with something like that without spoiling anything. I do believe that that movie was inspired by this book. Nothing in this book is real, by the way, even though the book makes it seem like the certain events are real. But anyway, let me read you the book description because I suck at explaining things, like I said. It's a little long, so definitely, yeah. Spare me, please. Years ago, when House of Leaves was first being passed around, it was nothing more than a badly bundled heap of paper, parts of which would occasionally surface on the internet. No one could have anticipated the small but devoted following this terrifying story would soon command. Starting with an odd assortment of marginalized youth, musicians, tattoo artists, programmers, strippers, environmentalists, and adrenaline junkies, the book eventually made its way into the hands of older generations, who not only found themselves in those strangely arranged pages, but also discovered a way back into the lives of their estranged children. Now, for the first time, this astonishing novel is made available in book form, complete and with the original colored words, vertical footnotes, and newly added second and third appendices. The story remains unchanged, focusing on a young family that moves into a small home on Ash Tree Lane where they discover something is terribly wrong. Their house is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Of course, neither Pulitzer Prize-winning photojournalist Will Navidson nor his companion Karen Green was prepared to face the consequences of that impossibility, until the day their two little children wandered off and their voices eerily began to return another story of creature darkness, of an ever-growing abyss beyond a closet door, and of that unholy growl which soon enough would tear through their walls and consume all their dreams. So that synopsis is crazy, but yes, this book follows a tattoo artist, I believe. I can't remember exactly what his name is, but the book is so cool because it definitely requires the reader to be super hands-on and really involved in the story and involved in reading. So this person on Reddit put it perfectly. The book wants you to feel as frustrated as the main character, which is why the layout of the book is so crazy. There's lettering on the sides where you have to turn the book. There's little footnotes that are squares and you have to turn the pages to read those, which I'll do a flip through, or I'll actually link down below a video that I saw. She did a flip through and she did it perfectly. I'll link that video down below so you can go watch that. She flips through the book and she shows you how you're supposed to read that certain footnote, and it's crazy to me and it's insane. A lot of people are really put off from picking up this book because it seems like a lot of work, but I think that it's so interesting. I'm definitely gonna have to have a notebook next to me to take notes and stuff, but I do want to show you a couple of things in the book so you can see what I mean. So here is an example of some of the font. Some pages will have some letters like this, one letters or no letters. There is another couple of pages that have the footnotes just at the bottom. I actually really love the type of pages that he used. He definitely used textbook type paper. Like it's paper, but it's glossy. It's not exactly like a textbook, which is like really glossy. But here's what I meant about the footnotes. So they're in a square. So basically this square has nothing to do with this stuff. In order to read what's in the square, you read it. Well, this is the back actually, which is, it's really complicated to explain. I feel like I need to do a whole video on this. But this side is the back of the footnote that is on this paper. So this footnote, this is the back of it. So it's like backwards. So when you read this one, you have to go to the next page, and then you read there, and that continues from here, and then you turn the next page, and then that continues that footnote. And then you have to come all the way back to the beginning to read the rest of it. So that's what I mean, is that the book is definitely very hands-on-y, and it really wants you to focus on just that book. So it's really crazy. It's really intriguing. I'm so interested in it. It's such an amazing idea. Anyways, this video is super long for no reason. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know down below anything that I missed that you would have wanted to know more information about. Like if you want to know how many pages are in each of these books, because I didn't mention that except for the last two. So I didn't mention how many pages are in the Survivors, which I think it's about 400 or something. But definitely let me know down below any questions, comments, concerns you have about any of these books or Book of the Month subscription. I've been getting Book of the Month since 2018. So I love Book of the Month. I highly recommend them. Out of any book subscription service out there, I definitely recommend them. I do prefer paperback over hardcover books, but I do like the fact that you get hardcover new releases before they're even released. It's really, really cool. I do have a referral link down below if you want to sign up. I think I just get a free credit. I think you also get a free credit, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. But thank you so much again for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time with another one. Bye.